motionless.
The long-awaited arrival for Godzilla vs Kong finally happened. I just got back from watching the movie and this is my review. No spoilers, don't worry about it guys. Nothing will be spoiled that isn't like too major to the movie. So I want to keep it like real with you guys. This is going to be my review with no spoilers. Second video will contain spoilers for people that really don't care and really just want to watch the whole thing. So first of all, the movie this time feels a little bit short compared to Godzilla King of the Monsters or Godzilla 2014. But overall, I felt like character development actually was really good. It seems like in this movie there's 3 to 4 groups that they each develop their own friendship together, and each group has their own path that they take throughout the movie that makes them really stand out instead of just goofing around like in King of the Monsters or just something that doesn't make sense. In this movie, each individual group actually has a story behind it and a reason why they do the things they do in the movie, and that's something that I really like. Character development is a lot better compared to 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Especially, you have a more serious tone, but at the same time you do get those type of jokes here and there. Now for action, I have to say that it is, from all the movies, from Godzilla 2014, Skull Island, and Godzilla King of the Monsters, in my personal opinion, I believe Godzilla vs Kong offers the most action there is out there in the monsterverse. It's action after action and it's really packed, but at the same time in between you get those character developments. That's really good. I believe people are really going to feel satisfied with this movie, but also I'm a little bit disappointed in some areas because King of the Monsters left us towards the end with so many questions, and we all thought that this movie was going to answer all of our questions that we had from the previous movie, right? Or even comics. Unfortunately, this movie feels like it didn't answer much of those questions or gave us answers, and I don't know, I personally felt like it left me wanting more. I felt like there was unanswered questions like in between things. Some things didn't make sense, but overall I would have to say that this movie is more on the brighter side than on the negative. That's not to say this movie doesn't have any flaws, because I'll get to that in the spoilers and I'll get really in depth with that, and I have pictures that I took and all of that. But overall, is this movie better than King of the Monsters? So without spoiling too much, to me Godzilla vs Kong feels like its own standalone movie that doesn't necessarily have to be connected to Godzilla King of the Monsters. Whereas in King of the Monsters, personally to me it feels like Michael Dougherty gave us fan service compared to Godzilla vs Kong, and that might disappoint people because Michael Dougherty really did spoil us a lot with Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, and so many classic music that was put into that movie, so many like Easter eggs and all that. Godzilla vs Kong is almost none of that. It feels more original with original music. In my own humble and honest opinion, from all the movies, I can honestly say that Godzilla vs Kong is the most beautiful CGI movie out there that you will ever see in terms of Godzilla and Kong. It's the movie where you definitely get to see Godzilla very clear, Kong very clear, and other monsters. Like the shots are really good. It's daytime, there's nighttime shots, but they're not blurry, they're not foggy, it's not full of rain. You get a clear shot of every single monster, and that felt very satisfying while watching this movie. Like I was smiling, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Godzilla looks like this. Honestly, Godzilla was shown like never before. Like in any other movie, his movements, the way he attacks, this is definitely a very powerful Godzilla. Like honestly, it felt like a classic Godzilla. I know a lot of people have been wanting that Godzilla that destroys a lot of shit, very evil, powerful. You'll get it in this movie, honestly, and Kong as well. I mean, this movie takes you through their journey of Godzilla and Kong, and you know, as I told you, there's like teams that split into 3 or 4 or multiple teams, but in total there's like 3 teams or 4 teams, and each one of them has like a mission or a task, motivations behind it, and I really like that. um, each one of them has personality, reasons to do what they do, and it's not like in King of the Monsters, as I said, and I really like that. There's a few Easter eggs. I know I mentioned that it's not compared to King of the Monsters, where it was like fan service, a lot of Easter eggs, so many hints, flashbacks, and all that. There's a few Easter eggs here and there, but don't expect it to be fan service like King of the Monsters. Like, they really did spoil us a lot. But you know, if you grew up watching classic Godzilla movies, classic music, there is here, you know, there's one here and there and all of that, but in terms of Easter eggs, not so many. There's a few, I won't lie, but I'm not gonna spoil everything. In terms of monsters, I will say that I am a bit disappointed. That's all that I'm going to say without spoiling too much. But it was really action packed. The CGI was very beautiful. It really feels very polished. Like, honestly, as I said, I don't think you guys are ready for this. Honestly, I got to experience this movie in IMAX 4D, and it was really awesome. Like, the movement, it really felt like it was matching to what was happening on screen, and I really liked that. And now, talking about spoilers, right? I'm not going to spoil anything, but did spoilers ruin the movie for me? A little bit. I have to admit that, yes, since I'm a YouTuber, I know a lot of things, and unfortunately, I get sources that tell me things here and there, but I never posted much things on YouTube, obviously, for respect towards the filmmakers, everybody working on this movie. I know there's a few YouTubers that really don't care and have that respect like I do, and most of the movie was spoiled for me, I'll tell you that. So if you really don't want to be spoiled, don't watch anything, guys, please, because it really does ruin the experience of watching it in theaters, unfortunately. But there was a few surprises that caught me off guard, and moments where I was like, holy shit, like, this movie looks beautiful, the CGI is insane, the fighting style of Godzilla, Kong, and the monsters is freaking insane. I mean, this movie is really brutal, honestly. Comparing it to all the movies, like King of the Monsters does not compare to how brutal this movie is. Like, honestly, there's a lot of kaiju blood in this, or titan blood in this movie, a lot of epic battles. And I don't know, I feel like this movie ends in a way that it opens the doors to your imagination without, obviously this movie has no credits towards the end, but it leaves like the door open to a what if. You know, if you're a Godzilla fan, you know what those Easter eggs are, and you know what could happen in the future. And honestly, I hope that the Monsterverse continues. I had a blast watching this movie, honestly, and I got to see a few posters here and there in my theater. And I can honestly say that I think people are going to lean more towards Kong because he has more personality. He interacts with the little girl. Damn it, I forgot her name. But yeah, it just seems like Kong has more personality. You feel for him more. You know, he feels more human compared to Godzilla. Godzilla, obviously, I feel like every single monster has their own personality. But Godzilla just feels more like evil, powerful, and I think you're in for a surprise. Honestly, both of them have shown sides that we have never seen in King of the Monsters or 2014 Skull Island. Both of them have amazing personalities. Their fighting style is a little bit different, and there is a little bit of Easter eggs here and there that, honestly, man, it's like a callback to the classic movie, and I think when you guys see it in theaters, you guys are gonna have a blast, honestly. So I think the MonsterVerse is going to continue. I think it is going to continue, and I think some people are going to be confused watching this movie without watching the comic books or the yeah, I think those are the comic books because those are prequels. So it makes sense if you watch the comic books and then you watch the movie, because this movie does feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions. As I said, it left me with more questions than with answers. The answers that I thought would be answered from Godzilla King of the Monsters on Godzilla vs. Kong, they completely never got answered. As I said, Godzilla vs. Kong feels like its own standalone movie that doesn't necessarily have to be connected to 2014 or other movies out there. And now what's weird is that the opening scene confirms something that I'll talk about in the spoiler review, which is a little bit concerning, honestly. Like, I don't know if it's a mistake or it really happened, but I'll talk about it in my spoiler review. But honestly, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. At my lowest, a 9.5 from a 10 review. I think critics, journalists out there, fans especially, are going to enjoy this movie. And the ending of this movie, I think it's going to leave fans satisfied on Team Kong, Team Godzilla, where it's not going to be like, oh damn man, I feel betrayed, I feel like we lost, or none of that. No, it's a very good, satisfying ending that both parties are going to be extremely happy. It feels like an epic battle between all of them out there. And yeah, I mean, that's my personal opinion. I didn't feel like they disrespected Kong or disrespected Godzilla. Both of them have their ups and downs and their unique skills. Honestly, I recommend this movie. Something else, a lot of people doubted me with technology, and technology is there. I was very impressed with the technology that they have in this movie. It's really awesome. The sequence that you see throughout the movie with technology and the Hollow Earth, I think a lot of people are going to be impressed with the scenes in the Hollow Earth, and especially towards the end of the movie. I can 100% confirm that this movie feels like it's focusing more on monsters. Humans become second plate, but not totally left out, or they at least make sense. As I was talking before, I like how they developed the humans this time around compared to King of the Monsters or 2014. This movie just feels more like a more monster-focused movie. A lot of battles after battle after battle. It just makes sense. Every single character has motivations, whether it's good or bad. And I like that about the movie. As I said, you're going to experience Godzilla in new angles that you have never seen before. Movements, fighting style with Kong and Godzilla like never before experienced. And I think that's what is going to leave you like, what the fuck, or surprise and shock and all of that. Moving on, this Godzilla feels much powerful compared to the supercharged version of Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's like a night and day difference. It's on a different level. This Godzilla 2021 version is very powerful, like you have never seen before. But I honestly still believe that Burning Godzilla is the ultimate weapon, the ultimate alpha titan out there that will always remain undefeatable, at least in the MonsterVerse. But just comparing both of the supercharged versions, yes, the Godzilla vs. Kong version feels miles ahead of this. And honestly, I just think that, yeah, a lot of people are going to enjoy this movie. There's going to be a few down parts that people are not going to be key on. As I said, it's not perfect, but it is a much better movie compared to Godzilla King of the Monsters in some ways. But to me, Godzilla King of the Monsters feels more like fan service, as Godzilla vs. Kong is a very much standalone movie, action-packed, the best CGI out there that you have ever seen on a kaiju movie out there. Before I close off this video, I wanted to say that this movie feels like our answers or our issues got answered in this movie compared to King of the Monsters. The visuals look better. There's enough daytime battles. Monsters look clear enough. So all of our issues that we had with previous movies, it seems like the director took our feedback and applied it to this movie. So rest assured, it is a very much improved movie compared to all the other past MonsterVerse movies. The battles are epic. And make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video around. Stay tuned for part 2 where I will be talking about spoilers, everything, all the battles. I'll have pictures up and only watch it if you really don't care and want to be spoiled. Thank you guys for watching.